We're literally just sitting here sighting in the gun. This place is so infested. Oh my gosh. I mean, there's like 15 of them right here. I got a shot. Oh my. Ah!
The Pina Colada is the most sold cocktail in the world.
Thank you. Cheers.
There are very few things in life that bring me more joy than an ice-cold drink on an island. And one of the only things that can make those two things even better is when they come after a long, hot day of hunting in the island sun and eating iguanas. Yep, you heard me right. Iguanas.
Pretty good. Like chicken.
I got your attention now, don't I?
Where's my beer?
Well, Nick, how you doing back there?
To say the least, the island of Puerto Rico is a complex and diverse place. Just a half-hour drive in any direction will give you a totally different view of what Puerto Rico is really like. Agricultural farm fields, mountains, rainforests, beaches, and even giant cities. And all of it has an incredible rum-soaked history as deep as the oceans that surround this place.
When Columbus first landed his ship in Puerto Rico in 1493, he wrote that he was blown away by its beauty and its people. And if you've ever been here to the old port of San Juan, then you most likely came in by ship too, by a cruise ship. And you probably, if I'm guessing right, had an ice cold pina colada. But there is so much more to this place than just this old port, and there is so much history behind that legendary drink. And that is why I'm in Puerto Rico, because this place has no shortage of history and no shortage of rum.
The famous Pina Colada was invented in Puerto Rico, and the story behind that is part of the reason that I'm here. But before I get to the fruity drinks, I have another mission that I have to accomplish first, and that's to do some hunting. And I know you're wondering, what the heck can you hunt in Puerto Rico? Well, let me put it this way. There are just about 3 million people on this island, and there are somewhere between 7 and 10 million iguanas. That's about 3 iguanas per person, and that infestation is a major problem here. And so I hop in a car, leave San Juan, and head to the southern coast of Puerto Rico to a beach town called La Peguera in search of a guy who is known around these parts as the iguana guru. His name is Abner Elmenes, and he's the co-founder of Puerto Rico Extreme Outdoors. And before long, I meet the man himself in the most unexpected of places, on the side of the road, changing a flat tire.
This isn't how we're supposed to meet, my friend.
No, not really.
What happened?
Flat tire, and here we are.
And now
Flat
you're
tire.
blowing a tire.
Yeah.
Hey man, how are you?
Hi.
Good to see you.
That other guy you saw me meet is Juan, Abner's partner in his iguana hunting business. And being the good farm kid that I am, I jump right in and the three of us get to work changing this tire, which Juan then takes to town to get fixed, and that gives Abner and I a little chance to get to know each other.
What does it mean to be Puerto Rican?
Here, you can run out of money any day of the year, but you will never starve. In some table, you will eat.
Sure.
Under some roof, you will sleep. In someone's shower, you'll take a shower.
Yeah.
And you will never lack, because you will always find good people that cares.
If you're from here, you're family.
Yeah, but you don't have to be from here.
Right.
Not at all. You just got to be here.
When you drive from San Juan here, it's like almost like you're in a different country. Then I start looking around because the reason I'm here is to hunt iguana and to be here with you, right? So I start looking around going, is there iguana there? Is there iguana there? Are these iguanas everywhere on this island?
Just above our heads right now.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Are we gonna get pooped on?
A tropical island and iguanas may seem like they go hand in hand, but those iguanas are not supposed to be here. Instead, they came from pet shops, just like hamsters and goldfish. Only when these things grew to be 6 feet long and 15 or more pounds, well, then people just sent them out the back door. And from those few pet shop animals back in the 70s, the island of Puerto Rico has been completely infested, becoming arguably the worst invasive species that Puerto Rico has ever known. And it's because of that Abner and Juan have found themselves a thriving little business helping to eradicate them one iguana at a time. Abner tells me that these invasive iguanas eat and destroy just about everything that a farmer can grow. like mangoes and grains and papayas, cabbage, lettuce, tomatoes, pumpkins, and on and on. But apparently there is one thing that the iguanas won't eat.
As you drive around here, you see a lot of banana and plantain
Yeah, actually,
farms.
most of the farmers and farm owners, and they just decided, to concentrate in bananas and plantain because of this.
So literally this invasive species that came from pet shops, it has directly impacted the entire agricultural industry here because the farmers only grow what the iguanas won't eat.
I mean, the estimated iguana population right now is somewhere between 7 to 10 million.
That's unbelievable. Well,
And they eat every day. So
I'm here to help.
let's see what we can do.
Within a few minutes, Juan comes back with a mended tire, and we're back on the road headed to our first hunting location. Not too different from the way we do things back home, these guys hunt on private agricultural land that they've got exclusive permission to hunt, and the farmers are happy to have them here. And as soon as I got out of the car, I could see why. The iguana were everywhere. In the roads, under the feed bins, in the ditches. And after seeing all that, it didn't take long for me to forget all about those frozen pina coladas waiting for me back in San Juan. Sorry, Pina Colada. I have a date with some iguanas, and that is officially something I never figured I'd ever say. When I daydreamed about my upcoming trip to Puerto Rico to hunt iguana, the scene in my mind involved quietly stalking through the deep rainforest after some elusive old dinosaur. And I couldn't have been any more wrong. Just in the amount of time that it took us to pull out the air guns we'll be using to get them sighted in, I saw at least a dozen iguanas within 30 yards, one of which walked right out into the open in front of the target that we were using.
Dead.
And since eradication is the reason that we're here, Abner wasted no time dispatching this one and taking the first iguana of the day.
This is unbelievable. We're literally just sitting here sighting in the gun. This place is so infested. Literally, the target's right there. This big male just walked out. It's a good way to get started.
Oh, yeah.
For as incredible as this thing is, I'm a little jealous that you shot it and I didn't. So let's get to work.
To illustrate just how infested this farm is with iguana, what I'm about to tell you is exactly how it all went down, Scout's honor. We hopped in a UTV, left the truck, and after driving less than 100 yards, we find a spot that is littered with lizards.
Holy crap.
We're gonna spend quite some time right here.
Holy crap, they are everywhere.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I mean, there's like 15 of them right here.
Yep.
And a couple of huge ones. Pick one and find an angle
And go for it.
oh, like this big guy right here. We have an angle right there.
Yeah.
Should we try from right here?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I know what you're thinking. You're sitting there in your easy chair thinking there's no way that Nick could ever hit that little thing up in a tree with an air gun offhand on his first try. Ah, ye have little faith.
Oh,
How about that?
good shot.
Hey, even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. Oh my gosh, look at him. I got a shot.
Is it dead?
We're gonna find out. Holy moly. Look at the spines on that thing.
And just like that, 2 iguanas are ready for the pot. Yep, you heard me right. I'm planning on eating these things. And lucky for me, 2 is not enough. Over the next several hours, we moved around the farm, and at every corner, in every tree, it seemed, there were multiple iguanas. And honestly, I was kind of surprised at how exciting it all was.
I hate to laugh, but that's fun. It is. It's just fun. That's unbelievable.
Let's keep rolling.
The pace of this is frantic, to say the least. Every time you shoot one, there's another one, and every tree we come to, there's 10, and then we're
reloading and he's putting more air into the guns and frantic is the word. It's totally chaotic and so much fun. Woo! Oh my. Ah! I'm not gonna lie. That gives me the heebie-jeebies a little bit. I think I just my pants.
That's a great shot.
Would you call him Godzilla?
Yeah. No, it's pretty big.
Godzilla.
Yeah. Oh,
Let's
yeah.
go get him. If the SCI record book took entries for Iguana, I'm pretty sure that we took a few that would probably make the book. But this one was special. As long as Juan is tall, weighed almost 20 pounds, and was gnarly as hell. Look at that. Literally a dinosaur. And something that I never figured when I started hunting I'd be in Puerto Rico doing. They're so gnarly and yet strangely beautiful. And from what I understand, they taste really good. So this part of the mission is done. Now it's time to eat. I'm in Puerto Rico heading in from a long day of hunting iguana for the first time. The hunting part of our mission is over, but the part I'm most excited about is just about to get started, and that's the eating part. Obviously, I've never done this before, so Abner and Juan show me the ropes. They let me do a little bit of skinning, which was way easier said than done. And so after a few minutes, I left that to the experts and turned to something that I'm an expert at, drinking beer. I'm not quite sure why, but I guess I just assumed that all of the pieces of iguana that we just skinned and cut would be just deep fried. But instead, the way that these guys do it is to first boil those pieces with some limes and salt and spices.
Because of the skin. It keeps not too strong, but it keeps kind of a fishy aftertaste if you don't boil it in some kind of citric. It could be orange or lemon.
To get like the oils off the skin,
Yeah.
off the meat.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you learn something new every day, right? And since this step takes about 30 minutes, that gave me time for another beer. Gave Abner a little time to play the guitar that was sitting in the corner. And before long, it was time to pull the pieces out and begin the next step. What's this stuff here?
No, this is sofrito. If you don't use this in almost everything, you're not Puerto Rican. It's not Puerto Rican food. So whatever you're doing, you gotta use sofrito.
Then he added in some onions, green peppers, soy sauce, brown sugar, and more seasoning. And of course, I added a little bit of a special ingredient just for good measure.
Just needs a little beer.
While we let all of that simmer for a while, Abner fries up a local delicacy called tostanes, which is basically a fried smashed plantain, which were pretty amazing.
That's good. Cheers. Plantain, cheers. All right, it's time for some iguana. Oh, the moment of truth. I was gonna wait for you guys, but I'm not gonna do it. How does iguana taste? Pretty good, like chicken. It's actually really good. That's really good, man. Where's my beer? I gotta tell you, this has been one of the coolest trips I've ever done. Even though it's hot as hell here today. This, the hunt, you guys, I love Puerto Rico. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here's to good friends in Puerto Rico.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I love traveling to hunt about as much as a frog loves the water. But for me, I would argue that my favorite part about all my hunting journeys throughout the world is the culture. I am fascinated by the way people live, their history, what they eat, and what they drink. For example, Mexico is known for the margarita. Italy is known for its wine. Kyrgyzstan has fermented horse milk. And Puerto Rico, they proudly have the Pina Colada. Now that I'm done hunting, it's that Pina Colada that brings me back to the north end of the island, to the legendary Old San Juan. This port town dates back all the way to the 16th century and is the oldest city above which the American flag flies. Taking a little walk around Old San Juan feels like stepping back in time. The brightly colored houses, the cobblestone streets, the old churches, and the historic old fort. I can feel the Spanish influence everywhere here. But today, I'm not here for the sightseeing. I'm here for the Pina Colada. But that's not going to stop me from getting some ice cream from a guy on the street because, after all, who doesn't love eating dessert before drinking dessert, right? It was 1493 when Europeans first stepped foot on the island of Puerto Rico. And in 1508, Juan Ponce de Leon established a settlement and fort here, and the city of San Juan was born. Old San Juan is the original part of it, and it's a testament to all of that history. Even the old city walls still surround it. And through all of this history, there has been one thing that has stayed the same. There has always been plenty of rum in Puerto Rico. And that brings us to the 1950s and 60s. It's around this time that two different bartenders claim to have invented the legendary Pina Colada. One of those guys was named Don Ramon, and it was here at Barachina that he claims to have invented the drink in 1963. And that brings us back to present day, where I'm following in those footsteps, ready to try the concoction for myself.
What can I get you, boss?
Just one of the ones for here. Yeah.
Your throne, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Cheers.
All right. Here goes number one. That's good. I like that a lot. God bless Puerto Rico.
My next stop is a few miles east outside of Old San Juan at the famous Carib Hilton. And it's this historic hotel that has the other claim to the originator of the Pina Colada, and that claim originates 9 years earlier than Barachina's in 1954. To learn more, I connect with legendary bartender Joel Iglesias.
Hey, man.
How are you, sir?
I'm Nick.
Joel.
How are you? Nice
Pleasure.
to meet you.
Welcome to the Hilton.
Thank you.
The iconic Carib Hilton. How are you?
Good. I hear you're the man to talk to about a pina colada.
The
Is that
Pina
true?
Colada, you know, it was invented right in this very hotel. Back in the 1954, that was the original date that the Pina Colada was made. There was a contest for tourism. And it was offered to get something refreshing, something to be sold, something unique from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And he decided to go ahead and look around this beautiful property. And he said, you know what, I'm going to use those coconuts. And I'm going to use the pineapple. And we're going to make something with it. The meat of the Pina Colada is 3 ingredients. Cream of coconut,
Yeah.
pineapple, and most important,
Rum.
rum.
Ramon Machete Marrero created one of the easiest drinks to make. Rum, cream of coconut, pineapple juice, add some ice, and let the blender do the rest. But the most interesting part about this story is that Ramon's original drink didn't have rum at all. It was alcohol-free. Yikes.
Out of that contest, back in '54, he actually won the contest because it was something original.
Yeah.
And he got a color TV.
That's what he won.
That was a big prize.
He literally
A color TV.
he
was
literally
big.
changed the bartending world forever.
Made this. The Pina Colada is the most sold cocktail in the world. And this is an original Pina Colada made in the birth of the Pina Colada. Enjoy.
Thank you. Cheers. That is good. You know what I like? I love the idea that this started off as a virgin drink, but man, that's strong, and I like that.
I like to think that one of his buddies said, "Oh, this is good, but it needs a little bit of loving."
It sure does.
And I think that's how the original Pina Colada came to be.
Everything's better with rum.
That's right.
Cheers.
Well, there you have it, the story of the Pina Colada, and I can promise you that I had more than one.
Tastes like history, man.
And on number 2 or 3, I stepped outside to take a second to contemplate this incredible trip I've just had. Driving myself across this island to begin my hunt, and then again back to Old San Juan, I saw the diversity of this island firsthand. I experienced the big cities and the little towns. And amongst the farms outside those little towns, I experienced a type of hunting I never expected I'd do.
Frantic is the word. It's totally chaotic.
And eating an animal that I never expected that I'd hunt.
That's really good, man.
And I loved every second of it. I met a plethora of new friends, possibly my favorite of which will help to ensure that on my last night in Puerto Rico, I'll definitely have a good buzz.